It's very difficult for me to try to explain life in America to someone who's never been to America, especially someone in Nigeria or someone who lives in other parts of Africa. Because I'm a realist. I know that Hollywood and also some of the celebrities that we worship who come back and forth to America and also to other parts of the West, they do a really horrible job trying to paint the West as some type of heaven. But the reality is that that's not the case. Again, I'm a realist. I keep it real. I talk about all the things that a lot of people shy away from talking about. And a lot of times when I talk about the reality of living in the West to people who live in Nigeria, to people who live in Africa, unfortunately, a lot of them misunderstand what I'm talking about. Some of them even attack me and tell me things like, well, if America is so horrible, why don't you get on a plane and move back to Nigeria? But that's not the point. Again, I'm a realist. The point of what I do is to break everything down, educate people so that you are better equipped with knowledge. And because you're better equipped with knowledge, you're more intentional in making decisions that are based on reality and not illusions. So yes, of course, America is a beautiful country. I love America, but this place is not heaven. There are issues here as well. Just like I love Nigeria for everything Nigeria represents in my life, but then also there are issues in Nigeria as well. So to confuse one to be better than the other without actually looking deeper into the nuances of both is just malarkey, and it actually creates a lot more problems because now your decisions are based on illusion and not reality. But anyway, talking about the West, Western countries like America, for example, gives you something that I call comfort. This comfort comes in forms of vanity. Everything is so readily available to you here. It doesn't matter what it is. It's basically there for you. Whether it's food, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, literally everything you want is right here. It's easier for you to assess them. Whatever it is, America gives you the opportunity for you to be able to tap into a lot of these things a lot more with ease. And as a result, you're basically a slave to the system because really, you really don't own anything. And this is a concept that a lot of people in Africa don't really understand. Like when a person in America, for example, say that they have a house, they don't actually own the house. Most people finance their houses for 30 years. So which means that for 30 years, you are a slave to a system. Same thing too, a lot of times when you see somebody in America who says that they bought a car, a lot of times they don't own the car. They finance a car for like sometimes 6 years, sometimes even longer. They don't own the car. They are a slave to the system until that car is paid off. Same thing too, a lot of times when you see people who have an iPhone, Android, whatever it is, they don't actually own those things a lot of times. And yes, sometimes some people pay it off, but those people are minorities. A lot of people do not own what they have here in America. A lot of people do not own what they have here in the West. A lot of these things are borrowed, they're financed, they're leased. And as a result of having that comfort, they are a slave to the system. Now, you can look at this from two different perspectives, as something that is really smart or something that is very devious. But either way, it's obvious that this is a system that has been intentionally created. And I'm not going to talk about the intentions behind it, whether it's good or bad. Life in Western countries like America offers you comfort through vanity in exchange that you are a slave to the system. This is what I call illusion of success.